Hello.
I guess. So
So
do you want to introduce the whole thing, the whole idea?
right, dear listeners or viewers. So today we are getting on a journey with our good friend Peter, who's following the anthologies of one mythical Bob Ross. His task will be to recreate one of his pictures, which is called...
I have no clue. Like, starts with something like A.
Right.
Or something like
Just
that.
like the alphabet. Just like
Yes.
the beginning of our journey.
That's it. That's our beginning.
Indeed. And so far we nailed the canvas, right? It's white. And yellow movement is going across the surface. It's a bit brownish as well. It's just scattered it all across the top.
I think the viewers will see what I'm doing, so let's just get into the whole point of what we are or what we're going to do. And yeah, I have no fucking clue. So
I was about to say I'd love to comment on that, but it's not like we're working with a script here.
We have no script. It's just a podcast for people who enjoy Bob Ross, who enjoy people being weird, and who ain't afraid to show it. That's something like that. Yeah.
Indeed. And if you listen to the phenomenal song from the intro that has been just birthed a couple of seconds ago.
Oh yeah, that was a fun time.
Indeed. We have finished one beer. I'm on my second cup of wine.
Holy shit.
Which is a very nice house molded wine apparently. It's a bit bitterish. It's somewhere between.
Yeah.
Between a brandy and wine, but it's gorgeous.
So yeah, podcasts. I actually have no clue how podcasts work.
How many podcasts have you listened to, Peter?
I guess we can call like game channels podcasts. I'm not quite sure.
Podcast is only just audio, isn't it?
Well, then I guess I haven't listened to any of them. But who is there to judge? Am I right?
Right, yeah. I mean, the video is just another boundary laid back from a podcast.
Holy shit, we're getting into the layers of society.
It's just as thin as the roof of the deep purple sky that Bob is drawing upon us. And there's some nice Prussian blue right there at the left corner. There it is.
Yes.
Oh, we kicked it off. Oh.
So yeah. What do you want to talk about today? Because I heard that on podcasts people just tend to talk, and I guess we're here to talk. We're here to listen as well, if somehow that would be possible. But you know what? We're here to talk today.
Exactly. Just give us some recommendations. We might include you next time. Huh? How about that?
Who knows if there's gonna be any next time? Holy shit, he goes in with the white.
Jesus.
And now with the pink. Oh,
yeah.
He's a crazy man.
Oh.
Well, anyways, today I wanted to talk about... Actually, that was like a really weird idea that I came up with. That I really just wanted to talk about the healing powers of Bob Ross.
No, lay it on me. Have you gone through personal suffrage that Bob Ross healed?
Well, I'm a big rookie on almost everything, and to be honest, this is my first painting from Bob Ross.
Really?
Yeah.
You're doing good so far. I mean,
well, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. That's the development.
I have no clue. I just purchased actually this what's this called? Like a painting.
I wouldn't know.
Application.
It's a nice app that does provide paint and spread and a virtual canvas.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of had the idea of fucking around with this whole idea of like getting ourselves to the unknown and
into the abyss of paintings and vlogging.
Yes.
You see, from that point of view, Bob Ross already has healing powers of occupational matters, and exploring new outlets for your own inner creativity, which is lovely.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the only push that I needed, then I'm on board.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there are a couple of these very cheesy quotes people love to throw around these days. It's just,
Which is?
Which is that during the last plague...
Which was?
Which was the Spanish flu, actually, but people don't talk about that. They talk about Newton discovering, gravity under a plague, and Einstein doing massive development under home quarantine, which is kind of just enables you to stretch out on time and focus on stuff you don't get around to. So to any artists out there, this is a nice time to give birth to that novel they have been putting off for the last 5 years.
Yeah, am I right? You don't have to feel bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I haven't been doing arts either for quite a while time, but yeah, I've already had plans of visiting Bob Ross, the one and only, and yeah, today is the day. And
yeah, I think your yellow is a bit faded in there, but
yeah, man, come on, I'm already.
You can get there.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody can paint.
Yes, but every painting is its own story. That's what Bob Ross has told us. If anything, and that's what people have to take with them. That when they're going to do something, it's going to be their own, and nobody's going to be their boundaries, or nobody's going to set up any boundaries for you. So just take a Apple Pencil, buy this application, and we're not sponsored at all or anything like that. We're not even existing yet. This is our first video, but you know what? We have ambitions.
Yeah, by the looks of it, I can see a real juicy sponsoring deal coming across our door. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that. I mean, that's down the road, and I have no idea what people will think of this whole crazy, stupid shit that we're doing. But yeah. Anyways, back to the healing powers of Bob Ross.
Right.
Have you had any kinds of affiliation with the Bob?
The Bob effect, as the cool kids call it these days. Have you been bobbed recently? And I have to say, even though it might bob some of you out, I have been bobbed.
Well, what was the incident?
I will elaborate. The Bob has affected its tools on me when I moved in, actually, to my current flat, and I became even better friends with my lovely roommate Marcy. And we used to have a Wednesday tradition, which was our least busiest day of the weeks. And we went through a cooking session, usually cooking via some nice Italian smoking vibes, rolled a joint immediately afterwards and started to watch some Bob Ross. And then that featured off to a double Bob feature where we'd be listening to either Bob Marley or Bob Dylan, and basically all the good Bobs that are out there. So shout out to all my peer Bobs.
And the bad ones as well.
Who's your favorite bad Bob?
I don't know.
Can you imagine Bob going be real fucking asshole slaughter guy, wearing his leather jacket?
Asshole,
yeah.
Being like, no.
I mean, he has
Today we're not doing happy clouds. We're doing mean ass.
What do you think he's expressing in his life? I mean, we know about his coke addiction, right? So that's fairly known.
I have literally never heard of his coke addiction.
Yeah.
But as happy as he is, he must have had some real weird shit going on in his life.
Yeah, I unfortunately have to say I don't know that much about Bob's personal life, which I think at this point already qualifies for hate mail and death threats on the online. So yeah, but I don't know, like by the looks of it, of how dark these clouds are, it's certainly going through something, man. Maybe his cat died.
Maybe sometimes he had his episodes, and then
he
he just beat the devil out of the paintbrush, and then that's how he let it out. I mean, yeah, you gotta have like a tap where you can just go and just be weird, I guess, or or influence people like the Big Bob did.
Yeah, I think to him, like maybe educating people on the interwebs these days might have been received as having sort of both. Like he has a creative outlet, obviously. Like he doesn't seem to be having a bad time when he's in the action. Not on the same hand, I think it's just fairly rewarding to be able to teach young individuals out there to make them truly feel us. This is why I think Bob is such an inspirational figure for even us who didn't necessarily grow up with Bob, but just still kind of love him.
Yeah, I think he's like a common figure that you can always, if you have a bad day, just put on some Bob Ross.
Exactly. Bob Ross is to your soul what a drunk drive Mackin is for your stomach while you're high. That's just comforting, warm, filling, everything you want to be.
Yeah.
Indeed. Do you think that he's overcompensating for something? Do you think that he fucked up his personal life, didn't have any children?
I think that every happy person has something to hide.
Alright, what do you think Bob hides in his closets? Other than another khaki pants and probably white trousers?
And a shit ton of pictures that he painted. Actually, I just watched some videos on him, and he actually did before every shoot, he did 3 paintings.
Oh, nice.
He did one for the show. He did one for a lady who I just forgot. You know what? Let's just drop it.
Right, it's not going to be an informative
Yeah.
podcast. If you want to go through like Bob's
We'll
autobiography,
link something like that.
There's old family members who make a shit ton of profit out of it, but
not just family members. They're just like, yeah.
I mean this aired, right?
Holy shit!
Oh, look at it! Is that a chinchilla? What is
It's
it? A squirrel?
I think it's like a big squirrel. He's in love with squirrels. That's what I heard. I mean, that's what I know.
Oh yeah, the man likes his bush.
Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah.
He likes his trees and he likes his bushes. And he likes his squirrels. And his nuts.
Yeah!
Okay,
Oh, dude. Just milk that nut. Yeah, just can't get right to inside of it.
Alright. Sadly, we do not own a squirrel.
Yet.
Yeah. We can listen to all the questions that are asked from us, or any favors that are asked from us.
Yeah, what sort of pet would you like to have to Peter to keep up in his flat? He already has 2 cats.
Yeah, I have 2 cats.
So alligators and that sort is maybe out of the question.
I would actually have a turtle, because I used to have a turtle, but my dad stepped on it at some point when I was smaller. And I guess, like, you know how you grow up? Now we're getting
I
into
hadn't
the real.
noticed that.
Now we're getting into the real deep shit, but
Yeah, go on.
but like how people just grow up, and if you don't have the regular inquiries or the regular stuff that your parents provide for you, that you ache it so much in your adulthood. And since I didn't have any animals except my pet turtle that just once just flipped out, and he decided that he's getting out of his aquarium, and then he just got stomped on by my dad. Yeah, when I moved out, I was really like set on, I'm gonna get a fucking cat, cause why not? Cause I'm an adult, and I moved out, and I'm the king of the world, and I'm the king of myself at least. So who is anyone to tell me that it's going to turn shit?
Right. I don't know. I, on the other hand, sometimes feel like your own little turtle there. Going out on Explorer and just immediately getting crashed on by the patriarchalistic hierarchy of dadhoods and expectations.
Dadhoods? What do you mean by that?
I don't know, just basic structures of like society and shit. That's a whole nother podcast, but I do not like to oblige to these standards, and yet I'm really angry at myself when I do, and I think some of us to a certain degree, all tend to bind into conformism, which I think Bob Ross is like a nice example of like kind of the counterculture of conformism on the regular spectrum, because it's coming from a vulnerability, and it's an
What's his
indication-
vulnerability? Liking taking hikes through forests and mountains and lakesides.
No, like his vulnerability is conflicted upon the individual who's perceived to be vulnerable, who's afraid of a new task, who's afraid of his own ambitions, and just kind of pushes them over the edge. So that's,
You know what? I
Yeah.
don't think that Bob Ross is afraid of anything.
I can see him being a shy fella.
He could be a shy fella, but I think he has balls.
Tell me more about Bob's balls, Peter. How do you picture them?
I don't know. Hairy, afro-like.
Yeah, I think the drapes match the curtains, yeah.
Yes, exactly. I couldn't have said it more weirdly, more precisely, but yeah. I mean, look at him. I mean, he has balls. He ain't afraid to show it, and yeah. I mean, just imagine being Bob Ross's son. Holy shit! You know what's the best about this?
Meaning about the balls to the sun. I mean, I get the connection through like evolution, but what are you going for here, mate?
I'm not sure. Just imagine being like his son, like acquiring the talent that he has. And
I don't know. I think Bob Ross's son is similar to like child actors, you know, probably.
yeah, like
also
Will
done with-
Smith and Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
That weirdness down the line, but I ain't said it. I haven't said anything about it. But yeah, man, like that's the worst when you have to live up for your parents.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just like another standard and pressure of conformism to bite into. It's like, oh, you're Bob Ross's son. Oh, you must be an amazing dude. And maybe he just wants to open his own pizza store and doesn't give a shit about painting, which would be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
But
that's all right. That's what I'm really pissed about. That people just tend to be like, all right, here's my son, and he's going to be a medical student or anything like that because
Yeah.
I didn't get into that shit. And
exactly.
And then what? Why?
You see, we're back to the turtle.
Yeah, back to the turtle. Not letting your daughter or son do these things that he's allowed to, actually. I mean, not allowed to, probably
Entitled to?
entitled to, yeah. Entitled to is a good word. They're entitled to do anything that they want, and who are you to stop them? You're just their parents, but that sounds completely weird to hear it, but at the same time, I think it completely makes sense as well to let your child be free or let yourself be free.
Yeah.
If you have been held back, nobody's there to stop you, then just do it. Who is there to stop you? Because if you experience the whole you, and if you experience what you want to be and experience everything that you want or ache to be, like us, or like just me, who wants to be an artist or whatever, and just do this.
Stick with the pizza store.
Yes, this stupid shit. At the same time, yeah, I mean, just go for your dreams. That's all I want to say. And nobody's there to stop you, or even if they are there to stop you, I don't think they're the police.
I think you're getting into the nice vibes here regarding
Yeah.
that we're still painting a Bob Ross picture here, which is
Yeah.
just
Oh.
what. Oh yeah, there
Yes.
it comes.
The niceness. The thing is that his canvas is much more wider, and
Right.
I'm experiencing some problems right now. But
The restrictions are only in your mind. There
Yes.
are no limits to your creativity, Peter.
yes,
I believe
that is true.
Yeah, but it looks pretty decent so far, I'll say.
So far,
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a nice line. The
yeah, I'm just struggling to find the correct kind of paintbrushes, because yeah, it's just weird. Let's use watercolor on oil paint. What the hell? No, that's not good. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, we're beginners if you couldn't tell. But yeah, I was just sitting at home. Not even at home, actually. I was at work today, and I just had a picture in mind that I want to start a podcast. I want to get a little bit more happiness into the world, or a little bit more niceness, or just urge people to create something. And if they see that a weird person who is not really able to draw, or even like just a tiny bit better than anyone else, or just dares to say that he's better than anyone else. Wow, that's weird to say. But yeah, anyways, even if that's me, I just want to urge people to create, because that's a nice thing. And that's what we learned from Bob Ross, the legend himself, to always own your thoughts and always own what you think. Even though he's never really talking about it, right?
No, it's all implied, which just makes it so much more beautiful. That if you think about what all of these thoughts that you generated within yourself,
yeah, I mean,
are just implied.
It's just an amplification when you're listening to him, and then if you just let go of your being, and then you just listen to him, and you just realize like, holy shit, he's talking about life.
Yeah.
He's not just creating something magnificent. he's helping you to get through hard shit, and getting through hard shit is nice.
Yeah.
And something that people should be happy to deal with.
Yeah, like, look, I think what once again, the entire approach of like Bob's craft teachmanship is kind of taking away the shame and the stigmatization of, failure and shame.
Yeah.
Or not being deemed good enough to your own ambitions. And he's just there with his wonderfully musky, charming voice of his, and with his
and his muscularity, and his voice, and his niceness. Yeah, I mean, imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like this, doing something like this. Like, you have to...
Like a gun shoot podcast for shy boys. That's the future, man.
Yes.
That's the future. So here how you hold an AK-47. Now don't be afraid of the pushback. We all sucked on the first time.
Yes. And if it hurts after the first shot, the second one hurts so much. And even if you don't hit the target, we all make happy little accidents. Shut your ma. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this could go real dark real soon. but I just try to keep it now in a tamed fashion, because I also have no clue where this broadcasting idea is leading us to. But yeah.
I mean, I have no clue. It's just, if you listen to podcasts, they are just there.
Yeah. So
I mean, there are some good ones. I'm not saying that there are horrible ones. All I'm saying is that the ones that I value more is probably the ones that are just like teach you stuff. Like,
right.
Even if I go onto YouTube or something like that, I tend to just focus on the things that actually teach you stuff, or just explain things that you're needing. And like, the whole concept of the internet and everything is just the concept of internet. I truly agree how it's supposed to work, and I truly agree that it's a nice thing that we have it, but how people use it and how people just...
Oh, that's
holy
it?
shit.
Then we're done?
Holy fuck. I'm
wow.
so back behind. Anyways, I'm just gonna finish up my sentence. What I'm saying is
you're
that...
still painting. We are all painting now.
Yes. What I wanted to say is that... Where was I?
You were praising the internet, my friend.
Yeah, I was praising, but at the same time trashing it.
Okay.
But I'm not trashing the internet, because the internet is a nice place and it's a good place if you don't stumble upon the weird stuff.
But the weird stuff is nice as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what you mean with weird. I didn't mean the dark web and all.
No, not the dark web, but like real weird child porn or something like that.
It sounds pretty dark webish to me, but yeah, I get you.
I mean,
go on.
You don't have to go to the dark web to find that stuff, alright?
Yeah, now we're talking.
Well, anyways,
Bob Ross and child pornography, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for your attention there.
Well, yeah, just what I wanted to say, that actually we're kind of finished with the painting, but still, thing is that internet, a really fucking good concept.
Right.
People,
not so much.
It's not a good concept.
Some design flaws are very evident.
And as we know from mathematics and stuff like that, minus and minus equals plus. But since internet is a plus and humanity is a minus, it tends to neglect the goodness. And people tend to neglect the goodness of everything that's valuable. And just fucking look at the world. We're just killing it. And yeah, I mean, alright, that's a harsh thing to do, but I'm a big hippie and stuff like that. But at the same time, look at the internet. That's just really out there right now as well. And it holds the knowledge of all humankind, almost all humankind, because we still have libraries and stuff like that. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. But people use it to create such trash content, just like this podcast.
But once again, like, okay, if you're talking like individuals and their struggles within their creative outreaches.
Yeah, look at us.
Exactly. Like, for example, even though that this is not necessarily something I'm convinced of that it will be next 15 years of my life, or we found it necessarily the
or even the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, true. A short and rant. No. Anyways, so for those individuals and for us as being now partaking in the experience, I think it offers some fantastic tools, and given that it's fairly unfiltered, is part of the appeal, right? So just as Bob taught us that everyone is open to paint, everyone is open to broadcast, and I won't be hating on that, because that's genuinely incredibly liberating thing to do, to be able to get yourself out there and do it. And for the internet itself, as if we think of it as a toolbox full of possible tasks and usages, it's still one of the best fucking things we ever created. And the wheel, I mean, still a massive fan of that.
Oh, I was just trying to think of something to step the game up.
Yeah, but my problem is I'm not getting into politics, but we all know how
you are. No.
I sort of am, and if I would be a few more drinks more into the evening, I probably would be all shitting over the fences. To be brief though, like, as long as every individual has the personal freedom that they want to, and everybody feels liberated to go out on the creative tasks and can empathize with other people's struggle, which is now more evident than ever before, I think we have an opportunity to grow larger together as a society, as a wholesome unit of individuals and beings, and not being necessarily conformed by restrictions of norms which weren't be available for us before, right? Like, not restrictions through our own family, through our own geological position, through our Christian, Muslim, or any sort of religious beliefs. Now we have the truly fantastic point in world history that we can form a global community out of individual beliefs, out of individual empathy, and kind of show that. And I think it's gorgeous. And we still have time. Like, it's not like the internet is running away from us. We just been provided with a completely new tool that nobody ever fucking figured out how to necessarily handle on like a broad societal perspective. I think we are turning on that crave that for the last 30 years it's been a tremendously important part of our lives. But in true human fashion, now we have the chance to capitalize on it, and now we have the chance to capitalize on a individual and emotional scale too.
All right, let's talk about the capitalism next time.
Yeah,
That's
next
a whole
time,
other
turn in
episode.
for capitalism.
Yeah.
And Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, our God and Savior. All right.
Thank you guys.
Goodbye.